we go. That
were you not
abruptly,
dancing? Were you not dancing? I was dancing.
I could see you in the little video there, so I was like, "Oh, there's Allison," being weird.
I couldn't see you in the video.
Good.
Oh, goodness.
All right, so maybe I should be recording on my side now too.
Recording
all
what?
Right. Our audio.
Oh, I've been recording for a really long time.
All right, we gotta do a quick clap here.
Okay, ready?
Sync it all up. You ready?
Okay, 1, 2, 3. It was off, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's supposed to be off. It's okay. It's fine. Welcome everybody to our live episode of This Is Awkward. Great to see all 0 of you there right now. What does we kick this off?
It's probably best they missed the beginning.
Yeah, it's super late right now, especially for the East Coast people. So, are you ready to hop into our episode here?
Here we go.
All right.
So, my husband was wanting to propose to me. Wait, don't put that part up yet.
Oh, but is this a surprise?
Just wait.
Okay.
Can we start over, please?
Sure.
Okay, so my husband was ready to propose to me, and he wanted it to be a really big surprise, and he wanted to make like this really big romantic gesture. So he took me to this restaurant that was right off the side of a lake, and it overlooked the lake. The issue was the name of the restaurant is Dead Fish Grill. So already not super romantic. And he starts telling me about these raccoons where you can go over to this balcony and you can feed these raccoons your scraps of food. And he wanted me to go over to this balcony where it looked over the side of the lake so that way he could propose. But I was like, feed the raccoons? Are you crazy? There's no way I am going over and handing over food to a raccoon. They can find food their own way.
What do you have against raccoons?
Okay, I just don't want to be near wild raccoons. So he goes and he's like, no, we're going to go anyway. And I was clueless that he was about to propose to me. And so he takes me over to this beautiful overlook, but it's shut down and under construction. So he freaks out, grabs me by the hand, takes me out the front door of the restaurant. He's trying to get to like a really pretty overlook of the lake, but there's all these trees and shrubs in the way. So we end up in this empty field with dumpsters next to the restaurant. He looks around and he says, "This will do." And he gets down on one knee and proposes to me. Hey, this is Allison.
And this is Chris, and you are listening to This Is Awkward. And so he said the words, "This will do," out loud.
He looks around. He had like these grand ideas for overlooking the lake. It was sunset and everything, and the way the restaurant was, we couldn't see the lake from the front of the restaurant. And so he just looks around. It's like an empty field. There were some bikers that were there, like on motorcycles, and they were watching. They were like on their bikes. We're like, the dumpsters for the restaurant were maybe like 20 yards away from us, and it just was this empty field next to the parking lot. And he just said, "This will do." And he gets down on one knee. And then the motorcycle people were like, "What? Are y'all for real? Did that really happen?" And I was like,
next to these dumpsters?
Yeah. Yes. Next to the dumpsters in front of the restaurant where you couldn't see the beautiful lake. But not to mention he tried to get me to go to a place where I would feed raccoons. Like that was his
So
his
the raccoons
lure.
were real. That wasn't like a trick, like to get you distracted. There were raccoons that you were supposed to feed.
I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, does that sound sanitary for a restaurant to be like, "Oh yeah, if you take your empty plate and feed it to that just..."
I thought like you just pick up like some bread in your hand.
I don't know.
Like they're not taking the plates over there, having the raccoons lick them clean, right?
I don't know.
Assuming that's not what's happening.
No. And I was just like, I don't even know. Actually, to this day, I don't know if he made up the raccoon thing, or maybe I'm just like too afraid to find out because then I won't want to go back to eat at this place. But it was, so that's like our funny saying is whenever something happens or something big happens, we're just like, "This'll do." Like, this'll do. I guess it's okay.
Hey, well, you know what Matt did?
What?
He ran an audible. And he changed up the plans. See, I'm testing you. I taught you this football terminology 10 episodes ago.
And I tried to use it with Matt, and it didn't go over well. And then he tried to teach me a new terminology for football. And I was like, I mean, can I just like take a skip year? You know, isn't 2020 like our skip year for everything?
Well, Allison, your use of football terminology is very awkward. And
That's
being
fine.
awkward is what we do here on this show. We help you get through your awkward money situations, hopefully without losing your friends and family along the way.
Yes. And if you want to be a part of our show and be able to actually call in and share your awkward money story, then the number is 707-200-8259. What's so great is that you don't actually have to talk to us. You can just leave us a message. I know it's like people don't want to talk on the phone anymore. You can just leave us a message. We will air it. We will play it on the air. Or you can always send us a DM on Instagram at This Is Awkward Podcast with your awkward money situation as well.
Yeah, because we love to hear from you. I think that's what makes the show great is when we get to hear your voices, your stories on the show. But before we do that, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to hop into today's awkward story, which I'm really excited about. This is not a situation I've ever found myself in. I would love to find myself in this situation.
I know. It seems wonderful.
But that's all we're going to say about it. We're just going to tease you with that, and we'll be back after a quick break. So, Allison.
Yeah, Chris.
Something special is going on.
It really is. It's so special. Like when you say, like some people will be like, really, is it something really special? Yes, it is. We have a Patreon.
Yes,
and if
we do.
you're new to podcasts, you're probably like, a Patreon what? So Chris, why don't you explain a little bit about what a Patreon is for a podcast?
You know, I would love every time I tell someone about Patreon that they say, a Patreon what?
A Patreon what?
If you don't know what a Patreon is and you would like that to be your reaction, a Patreon is essentially a way for you all to get bonus content and also help support the show at the same time. I know we've had these huge plans and we want to do all these great things and different types of episodes on the show, but we just didn't have the time. That's why the show originally only came out twice a month. But with your support, we're able to go ahead and put out more content. And we have a lot of actually really fun stuff planned for the rest of this year and next year as we get deeper into this whole Patreon thing.
Yes. And the great news is that there's an affordable option for everyone. The tiers start at $5. You'll get access to different things like a Discord chat, which is basically like AIM on steroids for anyone.
I love how you always associate that with AIM. You're just showing your age. You're like, we grew up with AIM.
AOL Instant Messenger. My AIM username was StarChick753.
Okay,
I like stars, and my
okay.
lunch number was 753. Sorry, am I getting off task?
You like stars? No, I wanted to pause and dive into this. You like stars, just like the stars in the sky.
Yeah, I used to draw a little girl, and I was StarChick753, and I used to, oh gosh, I'm going to draw her.
Oh man! See, this is why if you're not catching us live, this is why you need to come and join us.
This is Star Chick. She has a cape.
Hold on. We need to see this full screen.
Like, she has a cape. My smile's a little messed up. And this was in 6th grade. 753 was my lunch number, which was really easy to enter because it's just diagonal. 753. Boom, boom, boom. So I considered myself lucky.
Wow, I was not, clearly I didn't know this beforehand, but yes, Discord is like AOL Instant Messenger where you could find Star Chick 753.
But it's better.
Typing her heart out.
but it's better.
It's a great way for not only can you join us while we're recording episodes live and you can comment and we can let you know what's going on, and then you can just jump directly into our post-show content, which will be the special content. Not only you'll be able to get it live, but you also get it into your special Patreon podcast feed. And it'll be things like deep dives into what we're loving and some more awkward situations that we found ourselves in, and maybe we'll go back and even review some past calls that we've gotten in. It's just gonna be a great way for us all to connect, and then also you can share your awkward stories with us directly in the Discord. You can tell us what you're loving, and we can have some great conversations and just kind of hang out. That's what I'm really excited about.
Yeah. So if you're interested, there's 2 ways you can learn more about it. You can go in the show notes. There's going to be a link there, or you can go to patreon.com/This Is Awkward Podcast. Okay, Chris. Let's do it. Let's get into today's call from someone who wants to remain anonymous.
And just so you know, everyone, that's on the table for you. You can be anonymous. If you don't want us to blast you out across the internet, just say, hey, don't say my name or make up some weird name, and we're more than happy to do that.
Or you could say my name, say my name. No? Yes? I'm sorry.
I mean, you could.
I won't do that anymore. I've had too much caffeine. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read her message. She says, oh gosh, I need to wear my glasses. My friends and I often order lunch at work, and I usually place the order. These two friends always overpay and don't ever take back the extra money they've paid for their share, which means I have almost $10 extra from them. I see the plus side, which is that they're pretty much paying for my share. But then I don't want to feel like they've made extra payments to a future meal. How can I handle this in the future? Thanks in advance.
Well, my advice is smile. And this was great. Thanks for that message. And we're going to move on. No, I've never been in that situation before where I've had friends who constantly overpay. Mm-hmm. I would like to apply to be in their friend group and join them for lunch.
Do they need two people to come just only eat lunch with them?
I mean, but it sounds like, for one, she's already maybe let it be known. I mean, I don't know if I'm just making that up in my mind, but it feels like they kind of know that they're putting in more than it costs. I mean, I'm sure they know what the bill is when they put it in. So it sounds like they really don't care.
Yeah. I mean, she says they don't ever take back the extra money. So they're just kind of like, keep the change. Don't worry about it. And here's what I think. Number one, I think that I would be like, okay, if I knew that they were doing very well with their finances, if this was just like a drop in the bucket for them, if the $5 extra, did she say a week?
I think she said 10.
No, like $5 from each of them would equal 10.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
Chris, 5 plus 5 is 10. So it just says that they often order lunch. So let's just say they order lunch once a week. If the $5 extra once a week for each person is just a drop in the bucket, then I think maybe, one thing that this person could do is save that money and then one day say, you know what, like in 6 weeks, say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and pay for lunch. It's on me. It's my treat. Ooh. That might give her a way to feel like she's giving back. However, if she knows that these friends are struggling with their finances, then I can see how she might feel like a little bit guilty if she's like, well, you could really use that $5 extra.
Yeah, that's true. And, I was joking, but I have a hard time too in this situation where someone wants to if someone just wants to straight out pay for the meal, I'm always like, no, let's split it. I don't feel comfortable accepting it. So I understand where she's coming from, but I love that idea. Like if they're just not going to stop doing this, because you can't,
I mean, force them.
Unless you're going to just go grab the bill and pay it before it ever gets to the table. I love that idea of just tucking that money away, making like a little treat my friends to lunch savings account and throw it over there. Yeah, and that's a good solution.
I mean, think about it. If she's getting $10 a week every 4 or 5 weeks, she can say, you know what? You guys always let me keep the change. I'm going to go ahead and carry the whole bill. That way, she doesn't have that guilt.
Okay. I love that. It's a perfect solution. So in the situation where the friends are like, I got plenty of money, don't worry. I'm more than happy to do this. Now, what if she knows that they aren't doing well financially and they're still trying to do this?
Oh, I have a solution for that too. Yes, it does.
Okay.
My advice would be take the change and go sneak it into their purse when they're not looking.
I would have never thought of that because I've never put my hands in someone else's purse.
Neither have I. That's never happened.
So like while they're looking, you're gonna just reach under the chair and kind of just throw the money
I don't
in
know that, or just put your foot down. I don't know. I mean, there's only so much you can do. Or even so, okay, but really if you think about it though, even keeping the money and building it up and then using it to buy a meal in every 3 weeks or every 4 weeks, it breaks even. So either way, even if they're struggling with their money or she knows like, hey, you really probably should, you're constantly talking about how you can't wait till payday to come or you don't have enough money to buy Christmas gifts or, you had to get a new set of tires and it didn't work. Or, here's another thing. She could take the money and put it in an envelope for spontaneous giving.
And then give it to someone else.
Well, or if her friends need support at any time, she could give it back to them. I don't know. Or just be like, no, take your money. What would you do?
That it's hard because I think the one thing is no one wants a lecture. So this is not the time to be like say this is a situation where they're like, oh, they're kind of struggling and they don't need to be doing this. A lecture is not going to help them. You can't be like, I know you're broke. Yeah, I'm not going to take this money from you.
You're clearly not managing your money well. Let's go ahead and sit down and have a conversation about it.
Yeah, look, I brought my my budget binder and let me show you how I manage things. No. So I think your solution is like probably the best option because you can't control someone else. You can't stop them from doing what they want to do. And maybe this brings them joy. Maybe it's the thing that their way of showing their appreciation for you and like the time
That's
having
true.
together. And it's like, do you really want to like throw their gift back in their face and be like, I don't want your money. I don't want you to do this. So I think the best thing to do, like you said, is just accept it and then kind of just stack it up on the side and then be ready to pay for lunch for them. And then that's when you can jump the gun and go to the waiter before and say, hey, I want to pay for this bill. Here's my card before it even comes to the table. And then they never even know.
Exactly. Have you ever been in a situation where you've been able to, I like to think of it as like blessing someone. Have you ever been, you've blessed our family. You've bought us a meal when we were going through a hard time. We had some medical issues happen and Chris sent me $40 via Apple Pay. He didn't cook me the nice dinner he told me he would do, but he sent me money to buy a nice dinner.
You didn't get the sandwiches I mailed to you?
Oh, the sandwiches you made. He's like, I made 4 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and sent them in the mail.
I'm just saying they were some of my best work. I mean, I wanted to eat them. That's how great they looked, but apparently they didn't make it to Texas.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. So yeah, I mean, it's also nice to just be able to do that sometimes, and like you said, it might bring them joy.
Yeah, and I think especially we're going into the holidays now. Thanksgiving's at this point 1 year. This is already passed. We're going into Christmas.
Yeah. Giving
is going to be on everyone's mind. Why not just go ahead and kind of just have that ready to go? Say, hey, well, you can't really go out to eat. I mean, you can if you can go out to eat safely and you're eating outside or something like that. Just say, hey, I've already taken care of this. I appreciate you all. Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah or Happy Kwanzaa. Or
happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Whatever you're celebrating, and I think it'll just be, you'll feel great, they'll feel great, and then I think they'll kick some of the guilt off your shoulders.
Yes, I totally agree. 100%.
So have you, I didn't even ask you this. Have you ever dealt with this? Have you ever been out to eat and then I guess on a consistent basis where someone always overpays for their share?
No, not on like a consistent basis like that. I overpay our babysitter. Like I consistently overpay our babysitter. She comes every single Tuesday night to watch our children so we can go to a church group. And if our church group is canceled, we go get dinner somewhere or do something. And I overpay her and I pay her $50 every Tuesday. And she probably only stays for like 2.5 hours. So, I mean, I pay her well.
It's a good rate for a couple hours.
It is. And I see it as like giving, like she's watching my kids. She's consistent. They love her. She plays, like they look forward to her coming. They run to the door when she comes, and that's hard to find. And she's just like, I see it as a way to give back. And then actually this past week, sometimes I just pay her like $100 and I'm like, oh, this is, this is what the bank gave me. So, you can just, this will be for 2 weeks. And so this week I said, I handed her $50 and she said, oh no, you already paid me. You paid me last week for 2 weeks. And I was like, oh, well, I mean, I already got it out. So here you go. Like, just enjoy it, enjoy it. And she was like, you have no idea what this means to me because I just had to have my tires replaced. So it's like, you don't know what that can necessarily mean to someone. And I just accidentally budgeted too much. So I was like, here you go.
Yeah. I mean, it's things like that. It's being able to give to someone when you can, I think is a great feeling and a great privilege to be able to do. So if your friends are, if for our writer who wrote in this story, if their friends are willing to do this and this brings them joy, I say, just go ahead, accept it. And then, like you said, pay it forward when you can. Yeah.
And I actually have a friend whose mom, every time I see my friend who lives about 3 hours away, her mom always buys us dinner or always gets us pedicures or, she's always giving. And it's just like, it's in her heart to give. That's in her heart. And so who am I to deny that? That would be wrong of me. You want to give me a free pedicure? I mean, look, if that's what your heart is saying today, then let's go and get the $50 pedicure when I usually get $35.
You're just so selfless, Allison.
Thanks,
like when I think that you've reached your peak of giving and just care for others, you tell me stories like this, and I'm like, wow, you know. Oh,
Thanks.
I'm fortunate to know you, Allison. So fortunate.
Okay. So on that note,
yeah. Well, thank you to our anonymous writer for sending in that story. Enjoy this gift from your friends. Don't take it the wrong way, and pay it for it when you can. And appreciate you coming in. You didn't come here, but thank you for writing in and letting us know. You tell I'm tired. Thank you for writing in and sharing that story with us. And if you have any updates on this, if you've had a chance, if you already beat us to the gun and you're like, I've already done this and I've already given back to them and bought them lunch, we want to hear how that went. So we are going to take a quick break here, but when we come back, Allison,
yes,
we're hopping into your favorite segment.
We sure are.
What I'm loving.
That's right. It is.
So we'll see you in after a quick break.
Okay. Today's podcast is brought to you by my free Christmas budget printable. If you have not started your Christmas shopping yet, now is the time. And I have a completely free printable for you where you can write down your list of everything that you want. You can write down your expected budgeted amount. That way you can track and make sure that you are not going overboard this holiday season. You can get it at inspirebudget.com/Christmas.
Allison.
Chris, do you know what time it is?
I think I might.
Oh my goodness. It is time for us to share what we are loving. This is when Chris and I share something that has brought a smile to us, hopefully for longer than like 30 seconds. Otherwise, it's not really worth sharing with you. It's something that we come up really, truly with this curated list of things that we just adore so that we can share them with you and you can find things that you adore as well.
It's exclusive.
It really is
exclusive. I don't even know if you can find this anywhere else on the internet. Like what we're compiling together.
No, yeah.
The hours that go into it.
It really, yeah. I mean, we find things that we love strictly for this podcast.
That's it.
Yeah.
We wouldn't enjoy it without it.
It's a lot of research, lots of data. You should see the graphs that Chris creates for what I'm loving.
These spreadsheets. So Allison, why don't you go first? Yours is the most boring, so we're gonna go with what you're loving.
Wow,
first this week.
Wow, I thought I was the one that usually had the insults. Okay, what I'm loving is super wonderful. If you're watching live, it is this handy dandy notebook right here. It is my full focus planner. So I started using a full focus planner probably about a year and a half ago, and it has changed the way I view my days. As a business owner, as someone that I really need to think through what I want to accomplish every single day, this really helps me focus fully.
No.
But this is why Chris decided to do a podcast with me, ladies and gentlemen. He was like, "You're so funny, Allison. Let's get you on the air." This helps me focus fully on things that I want to accomplish that are going to help me reach my quarterly goals, my yearly goals, and it just really helps me look at what I want to do in a day and not get incredibly overwhelmed. Because what I used to do in the past was I would make a list that was a mile long. I would, there might be 20 things on the list. I would cross off 7 of them and then feel like terrible about myself because I didn't accomplish everything.
Yeah, I've been there.
Do you really make lists of things you need to do? I thought you hated paper.
Oh, I do, but I still make them anyways.
Okay.
And they're overwhelming because it's just I have like 80 lists.
Yes,
around
and then you're like, oh gosh, this is too much. I need to go, binge Queen's Gambit on Netflix, which by the way, that's a bonus what I'm loving because I just finished
started it.
It's so good. Okay, I take it back. I am loving Queen's Gambit on Netflix.
Save it for the next one.
No, I'm not gonna talk about it next time. It's just you get 2. You get 2 for the price of 1 here today.
Okay.
Queen's Gambit, go watch it. if you don't have Netflix, find someone's login so that way you can binge it. That's what I say. Because Netflix just went up in price. Did you get that notification?
Yeah, I was like, okay, Netflix.
I was
You're
like,
getting a little ridiculous.
Yeah,
Right now.
and then my husband. Sorry, guys, this is a little tangent. It went up for us to $13.99 when we were paying. I don't know, like I think it went up like $3 or something.
Yeah, at least a couple bucks.
And Matt was like, I don't think they've put new shows on. And I was like, clearly you're not watching The Queen's Gambit because I will gladly pay $3 extra for 12 months just so that way I can rewatch that series. Okay. Anyway, so back to my full focus planner. I use it every single day. It helps me narrow things down. And instead of having a long list of 20 things to do, I have 3 big things that I need to do that are going to help me reach my goals. And then I have the other things listed down, but if I don't get to them, who cares? I've done my big 3 things that will help me reach my goals. And I literally use this all the time. Every single day I use it. So that's what I'm loving.
You do talk about it all the time. I have to say.
Do you have it?
One.
I did. I forgot I mailed you. I mailed him the one that I didn't like the color of, guys.
She said it was ugly, so Chris, you can have this.
Shh,
Reminds
don't
me
tell
of you.
them.
That's what she said.
No, don't.
So
No, we can't. No, I never said that, Michael Hyatt. Michael Hyatt is the creator of it. I never said that, Michael Hyatt.
No, she sent this to me because I always hear her talk about them, and I'm like, I'm not much of a physical planner person. And
Yeah, how do you like it?
Well, let's open it up and see.
Yeah. How much have you
Okay,
actually
look at
used?
this. So here it is. I'm gonna.
I can't see it.
For those of you listening,
done
you can hear
any of
the sound
it.
the pages. Let me go to my bookmark.
You haven't even used it.
Okay, my last entry was on July 2nd, 2020.
July 2nd. And your big 3 is start using my full focus planner.
1, make up an excuse when Allison asks you if you've used the planner. 2,
2, start using the planner. 3, put the planner aside and don't touch it.
I do need to get back on it. It's a new habit for me. So I have it here. I have not thrown it away. It's on my little stack of books over here.
It makes you look smart.
Right, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
It's actually a really nice planner.
It goes really well with your glasses.
Thank you. That's the main reason I want to keep it. So
good. Which, by the way, if you're watching live, then you get to see that Chris lost a lot of weight. Oh. That's also what I'm loving. Because if you listen to the last episode, you heard me very kindly tell him that his beard was out of control. And he took my, my thoughts to heart, and he trimmed his beard down, and it looks great.
Yeah, Allison, I can say that your words had 0% to do why I cut my beard off. I trimmed it. It's still a beard, but it was much less beard. I cut a head worth of hair off of my
It's crazy. Face. Like, I can't believe you can grow that much hair on your face because you can't grow anything on your head. So it's just amazing. It's like, I don't know.
I hadn't fully cut it off or cut it down to this level probably since maybe like April of last year. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was about time. But
yeah. So enough about your beard.
Yeah, that's not what I'm loving because I lost it, so I can't love it because it's gone now. What I'm loving is a podcast called Hello from the Magic Tavern. And I think I actually didn't I get your husband, Matt, to listen to this for a little while?
You got him on it. You tried to convince me to listen to it. And I was
You're
like...
a lost cause. You don't listen
I was
to anything I say.
Chris, you sound crazy. Matt listened to it on his long commutes. And then I think it just became too much for him.
Yeah. So let let everyone know what this is first. So this is a completely improvised podcast. So they're just making this up as they go. I'm sure they kind of talk about it before they hop on, but they're just making it up. There's no script. And the premise is the main host drove through a portal behind a Burger King in Chicago and fell into this magical world. And he met this shapeshifter who's always a badger and this wizard.
You mean Jacob from Twilight?
Wait, is that what happened?
He was a shapeshifter.
Was it? I thought he just turned into a werewolf, right?
Gosh,
yeah, shapeshifter. All you do is turn into a werewolf.
You just didn't even read the books or watch the movie.
Well, I clearly didn't because I don't know.
He's
I just
a shapeshifter.
Anyways, it's not about Twilight.
Chris is loving Twilight.
Has nothing to do with that book or movie, but they just bring on random guests. They have these like random conversations and like this loose story that's just going on, and it's hilarious. especially I think it's like around episode 3, they bring on this guest called Flower. That's where it really kicks off, and it's a talking flower. She's crazy. It's hilarious. But I get why Matt took a break, because it can become a bit much after a while.
Well, and I think he was binging it, like listening to it on the way to work and on the way back from work.
Yeah.
And so I think he just like got burned out on it.
Which is what I was doing. I took a break. So I actually took a break for like 6 months from listening to the show.
Oh, wow.
There's like 260 episodes at this point.
That's a commitment to a made up story.
Yeah, it is. And they break it up into 100 episode seasons. So it goes on for a while. And I took a break, and now I'm back in, and I'm almost caught up.
Wow.
I think it started in 2015, and I didn't start listening to it until like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago ish, something like that.
Well, I mean, and with everything that happened in 2020, you had, 2020 was like 3 years long.
Yeah.
So you had a lot of time to catch up.
So that's what, being at home and kind of needing something new to kind of listen to, it brought me back to the show. So I've been listening to it again. I've been enjoying it. You can binge it, but you're going to I think it's best savored. Like, just take your time and listen to it over time. Don't do like I did or Matt and like listen to like 40 episodes in a week, because you're going to definitely burn yourself out. But that's what I'm loving. It's a random, completely improvised podcast called Hello from the Magic Tavern. It's very random. I feel stupid explaining it every time I do, because it makes no sense.
Yeah. You haven't sold me on it yet.
Well, there's nobody getting forced to be married. There's no drama between family members who are like beating each other and stealing each other's
What are you talking about?
Whatever soap opera you were watching. What was it called? Greenleaf?
Greenleaf.
Yeah.
No, that was about a pastor's family who all lives with him, and all of the, yes. Okay. Yes.
And they all get into fights and backstab each other. This has none of that, so I'm sorry.
You haven't seen it at all, so you can't talk about Greenleaf. But anyway.
Yeah, I know about it. They live on a street called Greenleaf. That's why the show's called Greenleaf.
That's not, okay. Anyway, Chris, we are now moving into your favorite segment.
Yes. My favorite segment is the listener shout out. And I love this segment for many reasons, Allison, but the main reason is we get to say thank you and acknowledge a listener who's taking time out of their day to listen to what we're doing, to listen to me talk about Hello from the Magic Tavern. So I appreciate you allowing me to take up precious moments of your life by telling you about this podcast that I've been listening to. And Allison,
I was going to say, and they took time not only to listen, but then to leave a positive review. Because if you leave a negative review, we're not going to shout you out. I mean, when we have negative reviews, we're not going to talk about you. You don't get our time and effort. So they also left us a positive review.
Yeah, Alice is not allowed to look at the reviews because she saw a negative one and it just went to the spiral. So I'm like,
I didn't go to this spiral. I was like, why are they attacking me? And they're always like, oh, Chris's voice is so wonderful. And I'm just like, what about my voice? I'm just kidding. Anyway, Chris, do you want to read the review today?
Yes, I want to read it, but I want you to say the name of the person who wrote it.
Oh, this is a good name. This wonderful 5-star, which are our favorite types of reviews. This 5-star review is from Becca Lecca. Becca Lecca.
Miss Becca Lecca wrote, her title of her review was, I could listen to them ramble all day. I've been a big fan of Chris's Popcorn Finance podcast for some years now. Allison, just saying.
Becca Lecca, we have to talk. No, just kidding.
And when I first heard one of his collabs with Allison, there you go.
Boom.
I followed her on Instagram right away.
Thanks, Becca Lecca.
I'm still so excited that they started this podcast together. We're still excited too. We haven't gotten on each other's nerves yet enough, and we're still excited about this.
Give us time.
Chris and Allison make a great personal finance duo. They keep everything fun, upbeat, and educational. Whenever I feel like I know everything already, I always end up learning something new from these two. Like
podcasts that are crazy.
Yeah. Full Focus Planner, Hello from the Magic Tavern,
The Queen's Gambit.
The Queen's Gambit, Therapy. I mean, hit after hit. But this is great. I love this review. This is when I see reviews like this, I literally want to print them out and put them on my wall. I'm still figuring out the best way to do that without having a bunch of sheets of paper taped on my wall behind me.
We could get it etched in stone.
Oh, that sounds expensive. But
maybe a new hobby.
Oh, you are? Yeah, I'm not.
I want you to etch it in stone.
Yeah, no. If you see my handwriting, I don't think you want to see me etch anything in the stone that I cannot erase. Oh, but no, that was a great review, Becca. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your reviews. Everyone takes the time to let us know that you enjoy the show. It makes our day. It really,
It does.
I don't know about you, Allison, but I'll be at work and then I'll go and look in the app and I'm like, oh, we have a review. And then I read it and I'm just like, oh, look at this. You know, I'm just like happy for the rest of the day.
Yeah. If you feel like our podcast is just okay, just go leave a good review so that way Chris can have a moment of happiness at his job.
Yeah. And with that enthusiasm, we're going to be even better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Absolutely. So yes, we love reviews. You can go into the Apple Podcast app or Apple Podcast player to actually leave reviews. And then of course, if you really love it, you're welcome to screenshot that you're listening to it, share it on Instagram. We will reshare it if you tag at This Is Awkward Podcast. So that way, you get it out to more people.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you know what? On that very positive note, we've made it to the end of another not that awkward episode. Wasn't that bad this time around? You were pretty good this time. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate all of your compliments, all of your backhanded compliments at times. We just want to say thank you to our anonymous person who wrote in about her interesting situation. And, if you ever want to take us to lunch with your extra income, that's fine. We're totally open to that.
Yeah, and we know right now everything's shut down, so maybe we can't, cross state lines or gather together in a big group and eat. But if you like listening to the show and you want to virtually support us and take us out to lunch, come join us over on Patreon. We're putting out some new episodes. We're actually, after we're done with this, we're going to be recording a new special. It's like a What I'm Loving revisit. We're going to go back and kind of jump back into some things that we said we were loving. Are we still loving those things, Allison?
Yeah. And I am sharing something on this next Patreon bonus episode that I have not shared anywhere. Anywhere. So
I've already forgotten what it is too, so I don't even know what this is.
Actually, I've shared it with you, but I haven't shared it publicly. I've shared it with you as a friend. So if you're curious enough, go ahead and sign up.
Yeah, come join us. So it's patreon.com/thisisawkwardpodcast. Or if you just want to send in your awkward story, we still want those. We still want to hear from you and know what awkward situations you've been dealing with. Give us a call, 707-200-8259. Let us know. You can be completely anonymous. You do not have to share your name if you don't want to. But we just love having your voice be a part of the show.
Yes. And Chris, I guess this is it.
We made it. Thanks, Allison.
I don't know what else to say.
I'll see you in the post show.
Yeah. Can you send me $40 for dinner again?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Anytime.
Okay, thanks.
Stand outside. I'm mailing it to you.
Okay, great. I'll wait.
All right,
Bye.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Are we going to stop streaming this live?
Oh, yeah. So all of you who joined us, thank you so much. Appreciate you joining us here for the live show. We're going to jump into the post show. So if you want to catch that, come join us over on Patreon. I do not have a fancy banner with the Patreon website on it.
No.
I didn't think to type that out before we got here.
He used them all for the other ones.
For all the other banners I've been putting up there. But yeah, we would love to have you. Your support means a lot. And if you want to get some extra podcast episodes in your feed and join us in the Discord for some fun conversations, please join us. If I can speak here.
Yeah, just don't listen to listen to Chris. But yeah, join us there.
All right.
Okay, bye. Later.